You're listening to Soundside. I'm Libby Denkman. Around an hour ago, students at high schools across Seattle walked out of class. They gathered at Seattle Public Schools district office in SoDo.
What do we want? One lunch! When do we want it? Now!
They want one lunch, and they want it now. They're protesting changes to school lunch times, which the district announced last week. KUOW reporter Noel Gasca is at the Seattle Public Schools district office where students are gathering to protest, and she joins me now to explain what's going on. Noel, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Hey, Libby. Thanks so much for having me.
So where are you right now, and what's been happening over the last hour?
Yeah, so I'm standing outside of the Seattle Public Schools district office in the SoDo neighborhood. And over the last hour, students have been kind of steadily streaming to the outside of the district office building to protest. Just giving a quick glance at the crowd right now, there appears to be at least a couple hundred students. And some of them are holding handmade signs that say messages like "One lunch, students know best," and "Bring back one lunch." And there's a group of students that have been, passing a megaphone to each other over the last few minutes and just kind of getting the crew excited, talking about why they're there and their discontent with this new policy.
So tell me about this new policy. I mean, why are students walking out here? What is changing about these high school lunch times?
Yeah, so students left their classroom earlier this morning to come to the district office and protest a new policy that the district, notified students and faculty and families about a week ago. And that policy splits lunches at all comprehensive high schools in the Seattle Public Schools district into two groups. So they're going from 1 hour-long lunch to two separate lunch periods that are about roughly 30 minutes.
Wow, so it's not just changing their times, but they're also shortening lunch. Are all SBS schools changing lunch schedules or just certain ones?
So 7 high schools are changing their schedules today. That includes high schools like Ballard, Ingram, Nathan Hale, and West Seattle high schools. There are a couple high schools in the district that actually already have this policy in place. And there's one high school in the district, Cleveland High School, that actually made this jump to two lunch periods before the start of the school year.
And what have you been hearing from students about this change? Why is this a big deal for them?
So a lot of students have shared that they're upset about this change because of the impact it could have on the social aspects of their school experience. A lot of students have mentioned the change that this could have on clubs at the school. Right now, the lunch break is used for club meetings, and it gives students a chance to kind of get together and socialize and see each other, even if they don't have classes together. And students have said, hey, if this schedule change, happens, that potentially splits up clubs. And it could, we could see a dramatic decrease in club membership, or, clubs just close entirely because attendance could drop off. A couple students have also mentioned, hey, this could potentially affect our academics too. Lunchtime is used for test retakes. It's used for time to meet with teachers, and that could be impacted. And some students have also said, hey, it could be harder for us to focus in class when one group is moving to lunch and socializing, and other students are trying to kind of focus on what's happening in the classroom.
And what is SBS saying? Why does the district say they need to change the lunch schedule and shorten lunch?
So the district has said that this change needs to happen to bring these schools into compliance with two new state laws that regulate instruction time and also regulate lunch time across the state. And the district has also said, hey, it's hard for our lunch staff to feed, theoretically 1,000 to 1,800 kids in one lunch period. That's a lot of meals to serve, even if, a portion of the student body is bringing their lunches from home.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, in terms of compliance with the state law, and as well as staffing, what about parents and teachers here, Noel? I mean, when we hear the students saying, I don't want my schedule to change, I want to be able to see my friends and hold club meetings in this hour that we've always had for lunch in high school. And you hear the response from the district. What about parents and teachers? Have they shared a reaction with you about the announcement?
Yeah, so after the announcement was made by the district last week, a change.org petition started circulating online. And looking at, the comments on that website, you can see comments from parents who are, again, really worried about what this could mean for their child's social interactions and their friendships. Again, they're worried about what this could mean for their academics as well. And they've underscored that having this time at lunch for clubs to meet and for students to go and talk to their teachers, it's a really vital resource that they want the district to not overlook. And a lot of parents have also said, why wasn't this announced sooner? We're a couple weeks into the school district. And they're wondering why the district didn't notify parents about this potential change before the end of last school year or during the summer. I reached out to comment from the Seattle Education Association. That's the union representing teachers in the district, and they did not respond to my request for comment regarding what this change means for teachers in the district.
We do have some test cases here, though, Noel, right? I mean, so there are schools in Seattle that run the 2-lunch schedule. Franklin, Rainier Beach, Chief Sealth, they've had multiple lunch periods for years. What's happened there? I mean, is the social club experience over? Has it changed significantly with the 2-period lunch switch?
Yeah, I mean, I reached out to students to kind of figure out how it's been going for them and what it's meant for their clubs and their academics. And I didn't hear back in time from anyone, but Seattle Public Schools, the district has kind of, they've offered some solutions or some workarounds that they think could potentially work for students and clubs. And some principals from affected schools have also sent out emails to parents and staff about what clubs could try. So they've offered, you could try meeting before school, you could try meeting after school. You could, maybe split the clubs into 2 groups based off of their lunch assignment and then, meet at different times and bring the whole club together. But, some students and some parents have they've responded to those ideas and said, hey, some students have sports after school. Some students have jobs or other responsibilities that they need to take care of outside of the school day. And having that, devoted 1-hour lunchtime was time that they could specifically devote to clubs and activities that they, wouldn't have to make sacrifices in other areas.
KUOW reporter Noel Gasca is outside the Seattle Public Schools district office in SoDo, covering a walkout by high school students across the Seattle School District over a change in the school lunch schedule, moving to 2 lunches that are half an hour each. These kids are saying that this is going to split up social groups and also important school club time. Just in the final minute that we have here, Noel, what do students want out of this, and is the district likely to capitulate or to meet them halfway?
Yeah, so students have been very firm in their messaging today that they do not want to see this policy change enforced. They don't want 2 separate lunches. They want 1 lunch. And I've been hearing chants of 1 lunch in the background throughout our conversation. The district appears committed to the change. And in an email sent to SPS parents last night, the district, noted that they said that the new schedule change is a challenging transition for schools and parents, but they're giving schools until October 6th to kind of create a plan or an on-ramp to kind of figure out the change and what that means for students, day-to-day lives and schedules. Just in the last couple of minutes that we've been talking, I've seen a small group of students actually move into the district office. So it's unclear whether they might be having conversations with district officials, but, students are here, they're present, and they are adamant that they do not want to see 2 lunches in their schools.
KUOW reporter Noel Gasca speaking to us live from the SBS district office and watching some political action by high school students in the Seattle Public Schools right there live reporting on it. Thank you very much, Noel, for being with us.
Thank you so much, Libby.
Thanks for listening to Soundside. This show is only possible because listeners support us. If you're able to give right now, please check out the show notes for a link to donate. And don't forget, you can listen live on KUOW 94.9 FM Seattle at noon and 8 p.m., Monday through Thursday, or anytime online at KUOW.org.